Good evening, Goshenites. Good evening. It is good. It is good to be here. It is good to see so many wonderful faces and beautiful outfits and fabulous gowns. But more than anything, it is good to bask in what God is doing. There was nothing, and now there's something, and our something is good. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. We were nowhere, and now we're somewhere. We had nothing, and now we have something, and it is good. To God be the glory. They had theirs. We have ours. It is our own, and it is good. To God be the glory. They didn't know we would make it. They didn't think we would make it, but we've made it, and it's good. To God be the glory. I'm glad to be here. I'm so glad to be here. In Goshen, we have a 5-phase model. For those who are new to the land of Goshen, by the way, welcome to the land of Goshen. In the land of Goshen, we have a 5-phase model to publishing. And in our 5-phase model, we start with a seed. We plant a seed, and we nurture the seed until the seed grows. When the seed grows, we then support the seed in its growth so that it thrives. We don't just meet good authors. We don't just make good books. We work with our authors until we see them thrive. Some books right out of the gate sell hundreds. Some books get off to a slower start. We don't worry about that. We're in it for the long haul to see all of our authors thrive. And because we know that all of our authors are good, but each author must go through at his or her own pace a 5-phase model. That 5-phase model is what I'd like to talk about this evening. With the 5-phase model, we have, I thought I had an image. I was curing the guy. My 5-phase model. With our 5-phase model, I bet it's coming. Watch this. But there it is. There it is. Thank you. I'm sorry. Can we give Miss Desiree a round of applause? Our own in-house Miss Desiree Jordan. If you have not had a chance to look her up, Desiree could be anywhere doing anything. Desiree MCs for us all of our events. She is ours in Goshen. Recently, I thought she was going to ditch us when she got her newest big gig down at the MGM. You know she opens and closes for Alicia Keys. And so, Alicia Keys, and I said, but you're still mine, though, so let Alicia know. Right, we have a gala on the 10th. And so when we finish up in the room here and we're back over there, you'll get to enjoy her vocals. And so we thank God for Desiree. Our other Desiree, if you can just turn and wave, is our event planner. The rooms are fabulous. The rooms are fabulous. I didn't think after last year when everything was so beautiful she could outdo herself, but you've outdone yourself, and this is beautiful. To all of the Goshen team, I won't call names, but to all of the Goshen team members who are here, you know who you are. We thank God for you, but especially Dustin. Dustin! Where we go, Dustin goes. Dustin manages all of our digital media. If you've ever been to our website, thank Dustin for our websites, our podcasts, our videos, and many of our marketing strategies. We thank you, Dustin, for all that you do in the land of Goshen. And Dustin brought chocolates. In the land of Goshen. Okay, so what happens then with our 5-phase model, we go from, you can see it, from planting a seed to the seed growing and eventually thriving. And that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight. When the seed, when there is a seed, the seed is entrusted to someone. Someone must plant the seed. The planter is responsible for deciding where the seed goes. The seed has no say in where it goes. The planter, when the planter plants the seeds, must ensure that the seed goes into fertile ground. The planter is responsible for making sure that where he or she plants the seed, everything the seed needs will be provided. The seed goes into the ground really without a say. It was led there, or it was dropped there, or placed there, but the seed does not get to raise its hand to say, this is where I choose to be planted. So imagine then being placed in a place where you had really no say, but you are expected to produce. That is what's happening with the seed. The seed, once in the ground, begins to absorb moisture from the ground. It absorbs from that which is in its environment. Are you with me? The seed absorbs moisture until it swells, and it continues to absorb moisture until eventually the seed cracks open. When the seed cracks open, there are two things inside the seed. There's a root and there's a shoot, C-H-U-T-E. Can I talk about the root and the shoot for a minute? The root and the shoot. See, the seed didn't ask to be dropped into the ground. The seed didn't ask to be dependent upon the water. All the seed knew is that it was placed somewhere where it began to absorb what it needed from somewhere until it cracked open. Now, when the seed cracks open, it has to leave behind the old shell. The old shell has no place in what's going to come next for the seed. Now, the seed is now two parts. There is the natural and there is the other. The seed has a root and a shoot. The root and the shoot understand their roles. The role of the root is to manage the environment. The role of the shoot is to grow. The shoot cannot grow without the root, and the root serves no purpose without the shoot. Are you with me? Yes. So now the root is responsible for the evolution of the seed. The root anchors the shoot to the ground. The root assumes the task of being responsible for everything essential. That which was inside the seed is now the anchor for the seed. What was in the seed now holds it down and provides for the seed. Now the shoot says, I'm glad I'm not alone in this assignment. The shoot is grateful that the root is there. If the root will hold me down, then I can grow. The shoot recognizes now that everything I need, the root will provide. The shoot now says, I'm not in this game by myself because I've got me a strong root. So the shoot understands that I don't have to worry about what the root's going to do. All I need to do is focus on my assignment. My assignment is to grow so that I can take my rightful position. The roots and the shoot, if you'll indulge me, the roots and the shoot, I believe they have a conversation. I believe the root and the shoot are chatting. And the shoot says to the root, I've got to press upward. And it's cold and it's dark and I'm alone. And I've never done this before, but I'm required to press upward. against a gravitational pull. Nothing around me wants to see me grow. Nothing around me is helping me grow. So I've got to push uproot all on my own, to which the root replies, you're not alone in this. I will sustain you, shoot. I'll hold you down, shoot. Start pressing upward, shoot. The shoot says, root, you don't understand. It's dark and it's cold and I'm alone. The root says, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you, shoot. Start pressing and trust me, shoot. I've got you. So the shoot presses, and the shoot presses upward until finally it pierces the ground. Finally, the shoot pierces the ground. When we looked at that ground yesterday, there was nothing, and we look today and there's something. And the shoot is just about ready to celebrate breakthrough. The shoot is saying, I finally did it. I pressed and I pressed, and I got a breakthrough. And I pressed and I pressed, and I'm there. And the root says, we don't have time to celebrate, shoot. You need to calm your little self down, shoot, because you're growing now, shoot. There are some things you need to know, shoot. Shoot is saying, I don't understand. We've emerged, root. We did it. We broke through. Root says, but you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable, shoot. See, now you've been exposed. Now they know what you've been up to, shoot. And shoot, you must understand that there is an entire system organized against you, shoot. They're not here to help you thrive, shoot. You better wake up and pay attention, shoot. If the sun gets too hot, you'll burn. If the rain comes down too much, you'll drown, shoot. You're not ready for what's coming at you, shoot. So shoot says, well, if there are diseases and environmental stresses and there are temperatures that can get too hot and they can burn me, what's going to happen to me? And the root says, fear not. I supply all your needs according to all the riches at my disposal. You just stay anchored in me, shoot. You just stay anchored in me, and I'll show you how to keep pressing. So shoot starts to look around, and shoot says, I see other seedlings. Some of them are not okay. I see other plants. They're not all gonna make it. Some of them are succumbing to the elements. They're exposed. We need our shells. We left our shells behind. We need those. The root says, shoot, forget those things which are behind you. I need you to press forward, shoot. If you left it behind, you don't need that. Anything behind you, shoot, is not tied to your destiny. Let that go and stay anchored in me, shoot. I've got you, shoot. Forget those things which are behind and press towards your mark, shoot. You've got a charge to keep. You've got a destiny to reach, shoot. Shoot says, it's a lonely push. I don't know if I can do this on my own. The root says, you're not on your own. I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. Shoot says, but the others that are not making it, the others that are not thriving, root says, because they're not anchored in me like you are. They've got other anchors. So when the storm comes, they wither. When the storm comes, they break. They die. They fail. But you, shoot, you're anchored in me. A storm cannot harm you unless it comes through me, shoot. And I wish the storm would come from my shoot. That's what the root says to the shoot. So the shoot continues to grow. And it grows until it fully matures. And the shoot becomes a firm, strong, stable tree in the garden. The shoot has reached its status as a tree in the garden, and the garden is beautiful. And so the shoot looks around in the garden, and the shoot sees 17 other trees. And the shoot says, some of the other trees made it too. Some of the other trees, they're growing too. Not all of them have succumbed to the elements. The garden is good. The garden is beautiful. The garden is full of trees. But then here's the thing about this one shoot. It's distinguished from the other trees in the garden. This tree is not like the other trees in the garden. What's so special about this shoot? What is it about this tree in the garden? You see, all the trees began as seeds. All the trees had to find root. All the trees needed water and nutrients. So what's so special about this tree? The scientist, I'm going to read his name to make sure I don't mispronounce it. Valentino, here I go, Lagomarsino, conducted an experiment on tree roots. Scientifically proved that the more distinguished trees are different from other trees in the forest. The more distinguished trees, they press through what the other trees press through, but they've got something special in them. What he proved scientifically was that the stronger trees, the more distinguished trees, actually literally communicate with other trees. What is it then that the distinguished trees are saying to the other trees? The distinguished tree realizes something that other trees do not. We're stronger together. If we interlock our roots and we're anchored in the same thing, we're stronger together. This is the tree that says to the other trees in the garden, if we lock our roots and share resources, we're much stronger in protecting our garden than we would be if we stand alone. Not every tree has that capability. Not every tree is interested in what's going on in the garden at large, because some trees are only interested in their own well-being. We don't hate on those trees. God bless those trees. But we're thankful for those more distinguished trees that say if we form a symbiotic relationship where we can mutually benefit, we create a community of thriving trees. As a community, we can accomplish a lot more. So the more distinguished tree says, let's lock together our roots. Let's share our resources. Then when seeds go in the ground in our garden, they can take hold of our roots. When seeds go in the ground in our garden, we can lean over and help them weather the storm. When the sun gets hot and we're all together and new sprouts are coming up in our garden, we can provide shade to our own sprouting. What the distinguished tree says is, I'm all about community. I was never in it just for me. My assignment was never just for me. It was for my community. We have an author like that among us tonight. We have a distinguished author among us tonight. What this author has decided is, I pressed up through the darkness. I weathered the storm. I published a book. I published another book. I came back and published another book, and come January, I'll do it again. What this author has decided is, I'm building community. When I publish, I'm not coming back for me. I'm bringing some more seeds with me. I'm bringing sprouts with me. This author is among us. I'm proud of her. I love her. I adore her. Would you stand to your feet and help me receive Dr. Kimberly Hayes?